Oh, really? Do tell.
Well, mostly DaBoO, who spawns at the top corner right now, because he used to be in my clan in Warcraft 3. It's an old clan member of mine. So yeah, it's a really talented player. I know he got Grandmaster many of times on Wings of Liberty, and he's one of the guys I know very well from LLL and a good Zerg player. On the other side, Chia, I have seen him once, I think, and wasn't a bad player either. Really good, and in ZVC anything can happen really.
Oh, that is true. Exactly like Ellie Goulding sings.
Yeah, I mean ZVZ. It's on a map Daybreak. Now Daybreak is a map that people know the ins and outs from, right?
Oh, yeah.
And in ZVZ, in HOTS, not that much has changed yet. Because the units that are new for Zerg, they're Muta, right? But that's mid game. Of course, the
Well,
mid game changed. Hmm?
I would say a lot has changed, not because the matchup has flipped on its head, and from the Roachling Infestor or Roach Infestor most likely that we've seen most of the time, it has become a Ling Muta Baneling, more Muta than Ling Baneling. We are back basically what the matchup looked like in the beginning of Wings of Liberty before the Infestor buff, before
Yeah,
Infestor Fungals started doing damage.
yeah. Well, the thing is, you're right. You're completely right about that. I don't disagree on that. But the first 8 minutes of the game didn't change.
Oh,
The
no, no,
Ling
no, no, no,
Baneling.
not at all. You
Yeah,
still have Ling Baneling aggression. You still
yeah.
have maybe some Roach defense, which you want to avoid. So you will most likely be defending with Baneling Spinecrawler in good positioning. But yeah, Roach Ling Blink wars are still going on in the first 6-8 minutes of the game until lair take, until mutas are out, etc., etc., etc. And the whole trick of this matchup right now is in how do you slow down your opponent enough so that you can secure a muta advantage 2 minutes from now.
Yep.
That's the whole strategy there is to it. And of course, microing the mutas, I think this is a skill that will take some time to master, and you will need to find a lot of tricks on how to do this stuff. For example, today I watched Pro League, and Jaedong, for whatever reason, was always getting the upper hand in every single muta versus muta engagement, regardless of the numbers. And usually,
Really?
when you have players of similar skill, usually the guy with four less mutas loses the engagement. Jaedong didn't, so there must be something he's using differently about microing those mutas, right?
Yeah, there must be. Well, that's really awkward because usually, like you say, it's like the guy with the most mutas wins the game. It's that easy. But how did he do it? Did you see?
I don't know. I just know that he
Magic?
was the best muta microer in Brood War. Like, I mean, this is like his whole playstyle has been built around microing mutas in ZVZ. So,
Yeah, in StarCraft Brood Wars, Muta were like the pick of the day as well. It's a lot like HOTS right now actually, and
yeah.
the wars are very similar also. But one of the big differences between StarCraft and StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 is that the other units also stack really well. Like on StarCraft, it was really easy to make a big ball of Muta because they had the same mechanic as in StarCraft 2 that they could like clump
Yeah.
up together. And normal units would clump up really awkward because they couldn't walk through each other.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't make a big bow or anything, and you could only hotkey 12. So it was like there were like rows of units following each other and stuff. It was really awkward.
It was fun to watch, but it is true that in Brood War you had to battle the AI, you had to
Yes.
battle the game system, and then you could focus on the game. So right now like StarCraft 2 is such a better game in the respect that you don't have to battle the game. And oh my God, I just want to note something. DaBoO, look at what he's got. No
Painting
Baning
Nest.
Nest,
Nope, I've seen that.
no army, no nothing, and he's just going for a
Queens.
lair at 5 minutes.
Yep, he's just going for queens. I am hovering over everything so that people can see it on the stream,
Yeah,
and I
sure.
also like hotkey these two queens and show that he's making a little bit of a wall, like cutely outside of his base. But the other guy, Chia, has a Baneling Nest up already, has a defensive spine also, but I don't think he knows what's going on. It's really hard to spot this because this is an awkward build.
Uh, I think the lack of any Zerglings out on the map or anywhere, if he goes and pokes at the front and sees a Queen block, two Evo Chambers not doing anything, and no ground army, I think he's gonna know what's up. And we already have the Spire going down. That's a super fast Spire at 720. Oh my god, if Chia does not see this, if he doesn't make the connection, he already have lost this game right
Yeah,
now.
I agree with you there. I mean, he's gonna be behind a lot in the Spire count. Spire's gonna come down now, but yeah, but I think DaBoO just got the better deal out of this. He didn't make a Baneling nest. He
He's gonna
didn't. He didn't put any effort into that. He just made a few queens, made a lot of drones. Nah,
if he
I'll
doesn't
make.
supply block himself,
Yeah,
his
it's.
Spire is 40 seconds ahead, which means he will have one whole production cycle of mutas more than his opponent will have, which can, depending on where the engagement happens, it can still mean that there will be same amount of mutas engaging, because if the engagement happens over Chia's territory, he's got a shorter reinforcements path. So he may have the same number of mutas by the time DaBoO starts attacking. We shall have to see. But if it's the other way around, DaBoO will most likely get the upper hand and come victorious out of that engagement.
Yeah, but one of the things I don't like about Shia's play right now, I mean, he's doing a really solid Zerg play, don't get me wrong, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have that much scouting information. Where, as you see DaBoO, he's got all the vision. He knows that the Spire's coming down, he knows the third base coming down, he knows what his opponent is doing. Just when I mentioned that Shia's gonna move an Overseer, and I like that because he needs to scout that he's behind. He has to get at least one or two spores in a good position and start defending against this aggression that's gonna come earlier before he can defend himself, because he's gonna be in a position where he can't defend himself soon.
Oh, he didn't see the mutas hatching. Now he sees
Yep.
them, and now he knows how much earlier those mutas are out. Nine more about to hatch for him, but if you look at the muta counts, let us see. Nine are already on the field for the Boo.
So he's gonna have four more, yeah.
He's gonna have four more exactly. So it's, well, like I said, it's 11 versus 9. It's just a little advantage that he gained by this, but and it's also a question if those mutas engage at the same time, all of
Yeah,
them.
he has to start getting some links with the minerals. I'm putting the links underneath
Yeah.
the mutas to catch some of the bouncing glaives. You could
Oh,
also
he's
get
doing
some.
a really nice job trying to supply block his opponent,
Yep.
and that will provide an advantage even more because you supply block your opponent. So hey, he's gonna have less mutas than me. I won.
Yeah, there's also gonna be a link counterattack by DaBoO right now. Gonna go to the third base. Won't do that much damage. I feel like there's two banelings morphing. There's enough zerglings to defend. I feel like, and the mutas are also coming back. On the meanwhile, the mutas from DaBoO are just sitting around in the middle of the map, so he's not gonna go for a double pronged aggression. We do see some spores coming up for Chia, and he's gonna need that. He's just gonna need a spore at the third base and a spore at the main base. He can defend between from his natural between both bases, and they will have to take down the spore before they start getting workers. That's
Yeah.
good.
Wouldn't be surprised if he invests into building some more queens. Anytime he does not have gas for the mutas. Because he doesn't really need minerals, and I'm also a little bit surprised that DaBoO is not mining gas from his third base. He should definitely start doing that because that will give him even bigger of an advantage. And here we go. Are they going to engage? Yes,
Yep,
they are.
they are, and the
Let's
links
see the
also
muta
engaging
counts.
underneath. The muta count is desperately in favor of DaBoO right now. It's already 14 against 13, but some of them are reinforcing. DaBoO also won the Zergling fight and will use the links to catch some of these claves.
Oh no, no, no! He's splitting up his
Oh.
mutas. This is not what you want to be doing,
Nope,
DaBoO. And
nope.
he realizes he retreats. Oh.
Oh, that was a bad decision right there. And the Zerglings actually ran up and ran into a Baneling. I barely saw the end of the splash there, but lost a lot of Zerglings in that decision. And really, DaBoO giving away his advantage because it's 12 muta against 12 muta right now.
Yeah, some more are about to pop, but that battle did not go that well. I mean, he was losing quite a lot of mutas there for I don't know, for whatever reason. Maybe some focus firing was going down by Chia and by DaBoO wasn't. But he was losing a lot of mutas at the start of that battle, and only then did it even out when all the Zerglings were killed beneath. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe the bounces were a little bit
Yeah,
off.
I don't know. There was a really strange. He won the Zergling fight really confident. Maybe some of the bounces hit the guys underneath. I don't think he actually used any queens because I would have expected him to move the queens into the fight, but I didn't
Yeah,
see that.
try to transfuse or something like that to
Yeah,
keep his
something like
mutas
that.
alive more.
Now DaBoO is gonna try to take a 4 base, and it's already being attacked by Chia. Not enough Zerglings to take it down, however, but he will spot that that's going up and might try to take a 4 base off himself.
Well, Chia is trying to take a base in the center of the map. I think that is going to be denied, or at least attempt to be denied by DaBoO. Wouldn't be surprised if he moved his links to deny the base and move his Mutalisks in position to harass the third in the meantime. And
Gonna poke into the third, do some damage. Might actually kill this Geyser, and in Muta Wars that's a big deal because you want to have as much gas as possible.
Oh, he needs to be careful though, not to lose very many of these mutas here right now.
DaBoO has the upgrade advantage, so he's at 1-1 against the 1-0 from Chia. So that's gonna roll the favor in his hands right here with similar numbers.
Yeah, even some transfuse is going off on some of those mutas for Chia. Chia is doing what he can, but DaBoO is getting ahead in tech a little bit in those muta wars. Already getting Carapace level 2. He's already ahead in them, but by quite a substantial amount, Chia that is. So he's trying to get back into this. He saw that his opponent has +1 attack, so he says, you know what, no point in trying to catch up in the attack department, so let me just reduce the glaive bounce even more. And once you get level 3 for those mutas, that means those glaive worms, you pretty much negate their damage, at least on one of the bounces.
Yeah, the bounces don't do nearly as much damage as a 0-0 against 0-0 Muta list fight. Even if both Mutas are upgraded 3-3, the bounces will do less damage than they originally did because they have armor.
Yeah, meanwhile, Chia trying to do a little bit of drone killing himself at the bottom expansion of DaBoO. Let's see how many drones has he killed so far. Well, DaBoO is doing everything he can to defend his drone lines, and both of these players only lost a very very small amount of drones.
Yeah, but he doesn't really need the minerals as much as he needs the gas. He is kind of low on minerals, but he can always make that up quite easily. He has decent saturation in all of his bases. He needs to get the geysers going. He's doing that, and that's why that base is gonna pay off so well. Now on the other side, Chia in the middle of the map also got a 4 base up, but it's a little bit later. And you don't want to be later in this this kind of situation. DaBoO has 3 more mutas, and it's still gonna be Muta against Muta in the middle of the map.
Now, this is what is really interesting. Now, if we look at the air upgrades, we have +2 carapace for Chia, but he's got less. Oh, wait a minute, we have an engagement in the center.
Some bailing hits going off as well, and this is Muta against Muta. Now Shia's getting a little bit of the better engagement right there with the
I
links
think he will just steamroll his opponent right now because he's got the Muta number advantage and he's got the upgrade advantage. He should win here, but he's losing mutas way too fast.
Yeah, he didn't move the links underneath, he didn't pull the queens, and he's not reinforcing with the mutas either. I don't know where they are, but no, he's gonna lose this fight in the middle, and that's bad. But there are some links trying to poke in everywhere. And one of the reasons he was winning that engagement in the beginning was actually because of a really good bailing hit underneath.
Yeah, that bailing hit, that was the first thing that happened, and now he's going to lose the remainder of his Mutalisk. 6 more about to pop out, but DaBoO already has an advantage that cannot be surmounted. Now all these link wars that are going on in the middle of the map
are really in favor for Chia actually, because he killed a lot of drones. He killed a lot of drones at the 4th and the 3rd base. And he's behind this, trying to get the Muta count back up. Now that's going to be really hard though, because he just doesn't have the gas. And
well,
that's
but he has more income than DaBoO at this point. He's mining from all of his bases. DaBoO is not. He still hasn't fixed the gases at his 4th base. The 3rd base was attacked just recently. So that was a shortage of gas income for a little while. If we look at the workers, it's 70 to 63. The mutas are 22 in DaBoO's favor versus the 15 of Chia. And the upgrades are favoring Chia a little bit. So he's going to have to play defenses near the Spore Crawlers, near the Queens.
He needs to have DaBoO make a mistake. He cannot win this game right now without DaBoO making a mistake, because it's 28 mutas against 17. That's a huge difference in ZVZ. Even with the upgrades being a little bit better, it's not gonna save him. He has to fight either under like 3 queens and transfuse, or he has to fight under spore crawlers, or last but not least, he has to give Chia enough time to rebuild this. But he's not gonna. He's gonna have 31 mutas against the 17 from Chia. He has to find a place where he can engage without spore crawlers, and that's gonna be the 5th base going down.
Yeah, it is, and you know, always a good thing not allowing your opponents to get additional bases. Now, I saw the infestation pick going down for Chia, but not gonna use it for infestors. He is going to go into a quick hive. That's a decision I really question, because what is hive going to do for you apart from allowing you to continue your upgrades? And we have a big Zergling run by into the DaBoO's base at the bottom, not doing all that much though, and everything has been cleaned up very easily. 19 drones have been lost, but not that big of a deal for DaBoO at this moment.
One of the things it does do though, it forces the army back, and that's really important when you need time, and Chia needs a lot of time. Now we see that DaBoO is going to do a really smart thing, that's fly into the main base. 1, 2 spore crawlers, no problems. Your mutas are not there, so they're not gonna help that much. You see how fast they go down against this amount of muta? And the muta flock flies in, he's just gonna back off a little bit. He could engage this, he's gonna poke in, kills 1 muta, and the advantage grows.
And you know, this is what I was questioning. First getting the infestors, then getting the hive might have been a smarter decision in my opinion, because the upgrades are not done. A long way, I mean, there was a lot on the timer. We have another Mutalisk battle, muta on muta below the natural, as the Zerglings are clashing nearby, and yeah, this is the result of Chia's miscalculation a little bit. He's using the Muta Wars very convincingly. 9-8 mutas remaining on the field, 7-6, and there is going to be 0 in a moment, and this means that DaBoO has this game in the bag. Zergling run-bys or no in the main. He will just clean that up and then just continue to kill Chia off.
Yeah, 49 mutas kill things quite fast. I can tell you that. I've experienced that. And you don't want to have that. Like the DPS is really high. Spore crawlers, queens, they won't save you anymore. And in ZVZ, you see spore crawlers being buffed against muta, but the problem is that links can just pick them off. They're very immobile because you can move them, replant them. But
now we see the fly of the Valkyries. All the overlords will go down.
Everything's
gonna die.
Look at how fast this goes. This is It's just.
Supply blocking coming. There we have it.
Yeah, of course. This is really bad for Chia, and at this point he did lose the game. Sadly.
Yeah, he's getting Infestor Infestor, but it's a little bit too late for him. He's not going to be able.
If he fungals and then his Terran ally nukes, he might win.
Yeah, he would need like 6 Infestors and those mutas to be clumped up to kill all of them, and then he might get back into the game. But it's not going to happen. DaBoO takes this game with a really solid play, even if the opening was quite risky, because what could happen there was, and again, it came down to Chia not scouting.